What's up, gamers? The Red Dragon here, and I am joined today by Houdini from IND Gamers.
Hello, hello.
And today we are going to show you how to get the best setup for both Black Ops 2 and Battlefield 3. Get the best gun, get the best attachments, all that. And we see this a lot of times on YouTube where people will post up, 50 videos a month going through every single gun and then comparing them and all that. And you don't really need that much information. It's really not that difficult. And we're going to show you an easy way to figure all this out on your own. So what we've got is a website called Semtech.com that we're going to be taking a look at. And what they have done is they have basically dissected Battlefield 3, Black Ops 2. They've gone into the file system and actually pulled the data. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have Houdini actually show you how to use the website and how to read these charts, because if you just look at all this information, in one aspect of it, it's simple math, but on the other side, it's a lot of math put together. And so if you've never looked at these charts, it might just look really confusing, but Houdini is going to show you how to make this really simplistic. So let's take, for instance, Battlefield 3, because if you learn how to read one game, you're going to be able to read them all. So we're going to click on Battlefield 3, and we've got a lot of different charts here. We've got weapon charts, weapon comparison, time to kill charts, bullets to kill charts. So Houdini, where should we start by looking when we're trying to figure out what gun we're going to use?
Let me show you how it's done. We'll go ahead and take a look at the bullets to kill chart first. It's pretty important to know how many bullets it's going to take to put your enemy in the dirt. Why don't we take a look at the assault weapons on the bullets to kill chart? And most of these engagements that I'm getting in are usually around 15 meters. And they've given us a pretty self-service option to sort these out by just clicking directly on the 15 meters. And it'll just sort all those weapons for you. And we can see right there that the G3A3 is ranking right up at the top with 4 bullets to kill.
So once we've got the bullets to kill chart, I guess then it's time to move to the time to kill chart.
Absolutely. So the time to kill is actually adjusted by the fire rate of the weapon. And you'll see that the G3A3, although it is high on the bullets to kill chart, it's ranking a little bit less than average on the time to kill chart. And that's because of its fire rate.
So you can see that the bullets to kill chart and the time to kill chart really gives us a good idea as to where we can start looking for a weapon. And again, this is all up to personal preference, and something like an assault rifle is going to be different than a recon class, because if you're playing recon, then you're not going to want something that's going to take a ton of seconds in order to reload before you can fire off that second shot. So that's something to consider. So based upon the class, based upon how you play, if you're playing longer range, you're looking for those weapons that can do more damage longer range. If you're more close quarter combat, then that might not matter as much to you. So that gives us a good starting point. I think with this particular class, we should go ahead and continue to look at the G3A3. So now that we've got our weapon, what should we do now, Houdini?
You might want to take a look at the weapon comparisons chart. And this will give you a very hands-on display side by side of the weapons with different attachments on them and how they perform.
And what I really love about this weapons comparison chart is not only can you find like 2 different weapons and compare those to try to nail down which one's your favorite or which one has a slight advantage in a certain area, but you can also take the same weapon and put 2 different attachments and really get a visual representation of what those attachments are doing to that weapon. And that's like something that you can't get anywhere else.
Absolutely. And since we're taking a look at the G3A3, I've put the heavy barrel on the first weapon, and on the second G3A3, I've put suppressor. It's going to give us a pretty wide spectrum of damage over distance.
Yeah, it looks like the suppressor, which of course, most of us know this, the suppressor is going to definitely lower the amount of damage that it does over time, but looking at these numbers and looking at the raw data, it is huge the amount of damage that is actually lowered adding the suppressor.
Absolutely, Red. You'll notice that this slope is starting with the suppressor in orange here, and it drops off dramatically. And that's the amount of damage that's being done at that distance. Right there, it's starting off at 34 damage per round, center mass, at a distance of 34 meters. It's dropped all the way down to 22. So it's just a very, very stark comparison between the two.
So besides just the amount of damage that it's showing here on the chart, what else is this telling us about these two setups?
You're definitely going to want to pay attention to the way that your projectile fires. You'll notice a very big difference between the muzzle velocities. How long it's going to take your bullet to actually get to somebody. And that's going to start to make a difference when you're engaging people at a longer range. How much you have to lead them. And further down, and more importantly, you're going to want to pay attention to the weapon's spread. Now they have these accuracy plots that are conveniently placed on the same page, directly below. And you'll note that the G3A3 has a significantly tighter spread with the heavy barrel from left to right.
But it looks like it does have a little bit more recoil going upwards with the heavy barrel compared to the silencer.
Absolutely. Once again, it all comes down to fire rate. If you're the kind of person that can control your fire rate on fully automatic, then I would definitely recommend a heavy barrel with this weapon.
So hopefully this little walkthrough just gave you a quick glimpse as to what is possible with this website. This is just one class, just one weapon that we took a look at, and you can see just how deep we can go into the rabbit hole. So hopefully this is better than watching 50 different videos trying to figure out who thinks what is the best gun. You can actually look at the data. Depending on how you play, how you want to play, you can definitely get in there and figure out the complete best setup for you and that particular weapon. So I think it's a great website. Check it out. All the links are in the description box. And if you liked this video telling you about this website better than watching 50 different videos where somebody's just claiming to be a god at every single weapon, then press that like button and let me know that you like this tutorial. So that does it for me, The Red Dragon. Be sure you check out Houdini's channel and IND Gamers. He's got all kinds of fun stuff, especially looking at Battlefield 3. They go over a lot of videos that show you some things that you may not know about the game. So be sure you check that out. And Houdini, I appreciate you coming on the show and walking us through. That does it for me, The Red Dragon. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.